Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of the Raedar, episode number 46, with my very special guest, Matthew Morrow. Now, if Matt looks familiar to you, it's because you're either a common shopper at Walmart, to which we work together at, or you watched episode 74, I think, of Album Roulette back in 2024. I said in the car last night, it was like April 2024, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
So I did have Matt on in my last show previously. Logan pointed out to me, Logan, you know Logan. You will know Logan. In a few episodes from now, foreshadowing. He pointed out that you were the first guest to be on Album Roulette and the Raedar. How's that make you feel, to put you on the spot?
Special, I guess. I don't know.
It's awesome. I've been very eager to have you on the show and talk about this in particular, the subject of today, because you definitely have an advantage in the knowledge of this subject than I do, or almost anyone else I know, which is, originally I was going to have you on to talk about video game music in general, right?
Yeah.
Which you love video game music, right?
I sure do, pal.
You have multiple video game soundtracks on vinyl, which is dope. A lot of the time when you pick me up and we're going somewhere, you are playing video game music in the car. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you are the guy.
Yeah, basically.
You are absolutely the guy for this subject. However, that subject matter itself felt a bit large and ambitious. How would we talk about video game music, in one episode? That's a huge...
Yeah, that's pretty hard to do.
Exactly. So I think narrowing it down to this subject, at least for me, felt less intimidating. I don't know about you. In comparing this episode's subject versus video game music in general, this is probably better or easier. And the subject for today, actually, I won't put you on the spot. Like I said, Matt, what are we talking about today? Is the Nintendo Music app, if you're not familiar. The Nintendo Music app is a app that was released on Halloween last year. So why did I forget where Halloween was? October 31st, 2024, almost exactly a year ago today. And it was made by Nintendo, who are always generous to their consumers. It was made by Nintendo to provide gamers a way to listen to the music from their video games. And we have a lot to say about this, right?
Damn right we do.
But why don't we talk about a little bit about Nintendo music a little bit in general, not the app so much. So Nintendo, right? You're a big Nintendo fan, I've heard.
I sure am.
Yes. Okay. So what are some of your favorite franchises with the best soundtracks in your opinion from Nintendo?
Soundtracks, I would say probably Zelda, Metroid, Mario.
I didn't even realize, obviously I haven't played the games, but I don't even think of Metroid soundtrack when I think of Metroid. But again, I have not played Metroid, so that's probably keeping me from thinking of the soundtrack. If you were developing a Nintendo Music app, let's say it's like a year and a half ago now. Let's say we just finished the Demon Days episode of Album Roulette, and I go, hey Matt, I have this idea, and it's an awesome idea for an app where you can listen to Nintendo music. What games do you need to be on there? What games do you think you would have said?
I would say Xenoblade would be one.
The guy from Smash Brothers and nothing else? I didn't know he had a franchise.
I'd say kind of everything that's in Smash, at least one soundtrack, would make the most sense.
Including Smash.
Yeah, including Smash.
We'll get into. But, I remember looking up Wii theme or Nintendo theme or whatever theme, Wii Sports theme on YouTube and getting bootlegged,
oh yeah,
stuff like that, or it'd be Wii Shop theme and it's 30 minutes long,
Yep.
And obviously the Nintendo Ninjas, as they're called, have done put in the effort to take those down. And it's been very difficult for people to listen to Nintendo music in general, legally at least.
Oh, for sure.
In fact, I would go as far as to say there is no legal way to do it up to this point.
Yeah.
You would listen to that on YouTube. It's Silva Gunner is the main guy, right?
Yeah, it used to be someone else, but I think his channel got taken down.
Because there's Silva Gunner and then there's Gilva Sunner. There's one guy who actually uploads the soundtracks, and there's the guy who makes the meme versions. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So I'm not going insane. When I found that that Pokemon song, and it was the Deltarune theme built in a couple days ago. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yep.
But the being able to listen to Nintendo music on your own for fun. There was no streaming service that just allowed you to download Nintendo songs, right?
Yeah.
Easily, at least. You could do YouTube to MP3, but that was kind of annoying, And there was no easily accessible way to do that. Did you ever download soundtracks through YouTube?
I usually wouldn't download soundtracks, but I'd be like, if there was like a really cool song that I liked, I would just go on YouTube and just download them.
Like through YouTube?
Yeah, I'd do YouTube to MP3.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the point of this segment mostly is to say that Nintendo really didn't want their songs accessible for some reason. They hate money. And sometimes Nintendo makes a decision and you go, okay, sure, I guess. And this was one of them, because the relationship that fans have with these game soundtracks is almost religious, you know? It's like Nintendo are a video game company and then they're a soundtrack company, almost. The fact that people are so crazy, I mean, myself included, there are some tracks I love to death, but like YouTubers use the Wii Shop theme as an intro, you know, or like the Wii Party theme, an obscure game that never got a re-release on the Wii. That theme is like synonymous on YouTube now as background music. It's bizarre, like the cult status that the soundtracks have. I don't know if you can remember any particular YouTubers who use Nintendo music in the background of their videos. I'm putting you on the spot here.
There's a lot. I know there's like a song. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like the Super Mario RPG. There was like this one song in the forest that just like everyone uses it. Mostly.
It's so obscure. How do you even know that? You know, so it's a weird thing that like there's such a large, rich Nintendo catalog. Are you familiar with The Onion, like that newspaper, that satire newspaper?
Oh yeah.
I think it's them, or it's one like them. They made an article that said like, video game scene of gorilla swimming underwater has most beautiful music ever composed, you know? And it's like, it's so weird that a lot of people either don't think twice about the soundtracks in video games, and then there's that group of people who are like, no, my favorite song is the battle theme from Super Mario RPG All-Stars re-release for the 3DS Switch 2, you know? And it's like, I don't know what you're talking. It's the night theme from Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's like, you're not even speaking English. But it's so interesting to have such a rich catalog and not put it anywhere officially, you know? I don't know if you remember this. This will be basically my last point for this segment. Do you remember when they announced Smash Ultimate, or maybe, yeah, when Smash Ultimate was just coming out for the first time back in, 2018? And they made it, they provided this feature that suggested that you should use the Ultimate game to listen to music on the go.
Yep.
What were they thinking?
I think it was just they were testing it out, see if people would care about this for some reason.
That's a great point. I think they're insane. The idea that I'm going to take my Nintendo Switch, my entire Nintendo Switch, go to the music part and put on, you know, Mario Underground theme remix and put it in my pocket.
But you can turn the screen off, don't worry.
Oh, I can turn the screen off. You remember that? Yeah, thank goodness you can turn the screen off.
You can make playlists as well.
But the fact that you can? Yeah. Oh, you can, because I went through your playlist last night because I'm nosy and evil. But yeah, I did. You probably didn't even know that. But we're revealing all today on the Raedar. But I mean, the point of this segment is that a lot of fans were hungry for a very specific, very accessible way to listen to the Nintendo music catalog, whether that's Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Kirby, Samus, or not Samus, Metroid, Star Fox. Mario Kart soundtracks are crazy good. You know, you ask almost anyone who's ever played a Nintendo game, people who grew up on Nintendo, they have a theme that's stuck in their heads, you know? Coconut Mall, you know, Gusty Garden Galaxy.
Toad's Factory,
you know, like, even if you're like, oh, I haven't played Mario Kart in forever, I don't even think about the music. The moment you hear that, you're like, oh my God, Nintendo, you know, I'm back to being 3 years old again.
Yeah.
And so it's just bizarre that they couldn't find a way to release some sort of platform to do this, including it's not on streaming. That's also important to mention. No Nintendo music on Spotify, no Nintendo music on Apple Music. I don't know how YouTube Music works, but I don't think it's on there either.
I think Apple Music you can get Xenoblade, but I'm not 100% sure.
I can check right now. This is a famous Raedar real-time fact check. I mean, I have no idea what Xenoblade would look like, but you can tell me is that it? Probably not.
Yeah, I never hearing about it, no.
And what's also stupid, I do want to mention, is that on streaming you get a lot of like metal version, epic version, you know, orchestral version.
100%.
And so you're like, oh great, I found the version. No, I didn't find the version. I found Geek Gaming Instrumentals version. And it's obscure and it's hard to find until, like I said, October 31st last year, they just shadow dropped it, right?
It was very random and sudden. Like, just came out of nowhere.
That's, it's weird what Nintendo decides to do that with, Sometimes they'll be like, we have this grand announcement coming, a Kirby Direct for a second an hour-long second Direct for the Kirby Air Riders game, right?
Yep.
That's in 2 days. Awesome. Who's tuning in for that? Are you?
I can't, bro.
You can't, right? Good. You shouldn't. And then for something like this, that's so legendary, they just shadow dropped it, and they dropped it randomly with a lot of weird features and a weird selection of music. I think we have a lot to say about the selection of music, at least.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. And we will get into that after the music break, because this is going to be the real meat and potatoes of the episode. We'll get into it. I'm sure you have lots to say. And coming up after the music break, we'll talk about the actual app and the pros and the cons of it. And one outweighs the other. Please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow me on Instagram at AlexRA. That's RAE. You can follow this show on Instagram and Twitter at the Raedar Live. Do you have anything to plug? Any social media? I'm not sure.
I got nothing, bro.
You're just happy to be here.
Yep.
Happy as a clam. All right. In the meantime, here is the Pokemon Battle Tower theme from Pokemon Sword and Shield, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 46 of the Raedar with special guest Matt Morrow. Say hi, Matt.
Hello.
Exactly. And we're talking about the Nintendo Music app. Am I able to spontaneously ask that we throw the graphic back up? I know that's really sudden. Can we throw the Smash Brothers graphic up again that we just had? I don't know if that's possible or not. Maybe not. We got it? Oh, we got it. Hold on. I just want to comment on something about it because I made these graphics. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I just want to comment quickly. I did, in fact, get lazy on this one. I do want to give a little bit of lore a little bit, though. It is so hard to crop out that little swoosh underneath Raedar Bros that I had to find a different image of a vector of the different logos and then crop that out using a website and then add it. And I got so lazy after that obviously by the top right, you see I got lazy on that one. But I did want to let people know that that's why I did that. And I'm extremely proud of that. So shout out to Adobe Illustrator. That's all. I just wanted to comment on that. Also, all the graphics are made by me. And I'm proud of the graphics this episode. So shout out me. Anyway, shout out Matt for being a guest. Hello, Matt, again. So let's talk about the app, right? The Nintendo Music app. Thank God this exists, right? We were waiting. We were like, we need to be charged every month to listen to the music that's in the video games we already own. You know what they should do? They should have had a voucher in each game and then be able to download the soundtrack from that. $1 million idea. But anyway, sorry. Let's get into the app, the statistics here for a second. Do you know how much? First of all, Nintendo Music app comes with Nintendo Online, right? Yes. The base Nintendo Online. For those who don't know, Nintendo Online. You know what? Let me throw it to you because you're the master. What does the base Nintendo Online, if you know, what does that come with?
So it obviously comes with online. For like all your games, and then there's like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and then I'm pretty sure Game Boy. You can just play those virtual old games that they slowly drip feed to you.
Yes, exactly. So it's online, it's the virtual consoles, and this, right? And also like maybe the Splatoon expansion there?
No, that's for the expansion pack.
Oh,
the higher tier, you know.
There's a higher tier.
You got to be rich to get that.
Exactly, because Nintendo will bleed us dry. Again, we will get into it. But do you know, off the top of your head, how much a base Nintendo online subscription costs? I do have it here because I got charged for it last night.
I think it's like at least 30.
$30?
Or if it's a month, it's probably like 10 or 15, somewhere around there.
That's pretty high. The official, what I got charged at least, which whoopsies, I was supposed to cancel it before my free trial ended. The cost of a Nintendo online subscription, which includes Virtual Console, an online play, and the Nintendo Music app, is $6 a month Canadian. I got charged $6.77 because we live in a dystopian society. But just like blame someone who doesn't belong to. But anyway, so it's $6 a month, $6.77 plus tax, and it launched a year ago. And do you know? I'll keep quizzing you here. Do you know how many games it launched with?
I didn't really count. I know it was at least. I'm gonna say 20.
You're being very pessimistic here. You got to give Nintendo some credit. It wasn't 20. It was 23.
So I was close.
You were close. That's pretty surprising. Okay. Yeah. So it launched with soundtracks to 23 games, half of which were probably some NES mess.
There's at least 5 or 6, I'd say.
Exactly. Now, do you know how many games are on the Nintendo Music app now, a year later? So what's worth mentioning, actually, we'll get into our opinions on it, but you're thinking, oh, has the number changed? Yes. Their premise, as Matt has mentioned drip feeding multiple times, is that I think it's every week they add a new one.
It's weird. Lately, they've been doing like free a week. Sometimes they'll skip a week, like they skipped last week.
So nothing makes sense.
Some weeks it's just like, here's just one, and then here's free. It's whatever they feel like.
And you go, okay, thank you, Mr. Nintendo. I'll buy that $70 10-year-old game. But yeah, so it's released every week. So sometimes they add a new game, sometimes they don't add a new game, sometimes they add 3. Which, okay. Do you know how many games they're at now, almost a year later?
Oh man, I am. They usually do one a week, so I would say
52 weeks in a year.
Since they sometimes do free a week, I'm gonna say I'm gonna go 80.
80? 80 feels right. Does anyone in the studio have a guess? Does anyone have the Nintendo Music app? I didn't think so. Okay, 99.
Okay.
Which means next week, on their anniversary, they might hit 100. Do you think that was on purpose? Probably.
Probably.
And then it makes me wonder, what do you think, and then we'll get in the good and the bad, what do you think the 100th soundtrack should be that they add?
Probably. It's probably going to be either from a Zelda or Mario game.
Smash?
Smash would be cool, but it's Nintendo we're talking about.
That's true.
So
it's probably going to be Tetris 3 for the Game Boy Advance Color, which, again, is a criticism we will get into. So why don't we start with the good, now that we've gotten through the nitty-gritty details. Let's go back and forth. What do you think are some of the good things about the Nintendo Music app?
I do like that they are consistently adding, new stuff, usually, once a week, roughly. Mm-hmm. Which is nice to kind of go back to see, what did they put on this week? So that's very nice.
It's a fun thing to look forward to every week, Yeah. It's kind of charming. I like it because one thing I enjoy about the Nintendo Music app that I don't know if is really something you focused in on, but I don't know if my fans, aka Logan and my girlfriend, know this, but I love music and I love sound quality and I care about sound quality a lot. And it's good quality on here. Shockingly, these are the actual rips of the not rips, but they're MP3s from the actual Nintendo catalog instead of rips on YouTube. And surprisingly, they're more high quality or higher quality as official rips than obviously someone going in video game files and taking it there. I don't know if you have anything to say about the quality at all.
I'm kind of if I hear the song and it sounds good, I'm happy.
There's a really good YouTube video about the quality. I don't know if you've watched any YouTube videos about the Nintendo Music app.
Not really many.
There's a YouTuber named Dublin Caliph who has a video called In-Depth Analysis of the Nintendo Music app. It's 40 minutes long, the video, and it's excellent. Don't watch that instead of ours, but it's great because it gets into really audiophile speaking about the sound quality. And it's nonsense to me. It's way above my understanding, but he's comparing the version of the Wii Shop theme from the Wii Shop to this version. You can hear an extra bit of 0.3 treble. It's I have no idea what he's saying, but people care that much, And that, again, that just goes to show the people's dedication to music from Nintendo. Another thing I do want to give praise to about the Nintendo Music app is the looping feature. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. I'd like to have that.
Do you want to explain what that is?
Isn't it just have to make
sure.
sure.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't it just it repeats it?
Yeah. So if you look up Mario Galaxy theme on YouTube, you can find a 30-minute version.
Yes.
And they, after Nintendo, DMCA'd a million of those videos, realized, oh wow, these guys like listening to these songs for a while. And since the soundtrack is meant to loop in game indefinitely, as long as you're in that stage, they have a version or a feature in the app where you can listen to the song just once for the minute and a half or 2 minute it is, or you can loop it for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. Which I don't know who's listening to the music for an hour.
I couldn't do that for an hour.
The same song for an hour, and especially it's Nintendo stuff, which actually leads me into another good thing is that the selection that they have is decent, Not only do they have songs I want to hear from games I like, they have songs I don't want to hear from games I like, They're not cheaping out in that way, So a game like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, right, which is a game we both love, some common ground. They'll have everything from daytime on a horse theme to Ganon boss fight, and then they'll also have what's the word, jingles, tiny little sound effects. Great example, the from the original Mario when you get a star is in the app. I don't know what psychopath is listening to that for an hour, but you can, and I'm glad. I'd rather they not draw the line somewhere. And each soundtrack, I don't know if you know this. Have you been using the app regularly, like lately, for this episode?
Like I just obviously coming here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use it to refamiliar myself with it.
Good word.
Yeah, that.
But you don't use these regular prior to the episode and finding out we're doing this episode together, because I just tell you, I don't ask.
Yep.
I said, here's the date, mark it down. How often did you use the Nintendo Music app as a fan?
I'd say at least once a week to check out whatever random soundtrack. If it interests me, at least check it out.
Mm-hmm.
See if I like it. If not,
you just kind of look and go, neat, and then you close it and go back to Spotify, and listen to a Sega soundtrack or whatever it might be. I do also want to mention the spoiler detection feature, if you recall, where
Yes.
if you have a game that you're still playing through or haven't played through yet, you can go into the settings on the Nintendo Music app and select spoiler warning, and it'll hide certain tracks from a game soundtrack if you're still playing through it, which is really neat. There's a lot of quality of life features in this app that I think really speak to the pride and the care that Nintendo has sometimes and really selectively. I don't know if you caught wind of that, like the 60-minute timer thing, the spoiler detection things. These are really nice personal things for Nintendo to do,
yeah.
Foreshadowing. And my last good. I don't know if you have any other good things you have to say about the app.
Honestly, for me, I just like they're consistently updating it, unlike the online games.
You only have one good. Yeah, that says a lot. Would you say unlike their games?
Unlike the games, Switch Online, it take 50 years.
That's true. That's true.
That's what it feels like.
Exactly. It almost feels like all the Nintendo stuff should be wrapped into one app, which they don't do for some reason.
Yep.
But my last final good thing is that the UX, not the UI. Again, I don't know if you know the difference between UX and UI. UI being user interface, UX being user experience. The UX is pretty good. I'm not going to go and tell you, Matt, listen, I have been obsessed with navigating this app. No. It's serviceable. It's decent. Excuse me. In fact, I think I can just pull the app out right now. Can I do that? That's what it looks like. I don't know if that's not too bad. You can kind of see. So I'll put it up a little closer. Yeah. So if you look here, already it looks like Spotify. There's all these different collections. I can already tell that that's Donkey Kong Bonanza. Hopefully you played it, so there's no spoilers here, but all these tracks, it's easy to navigate. There's different theme songs, there's logos, there's descriptions. It's pretty serviceable. There's the download button, there's a like button. It's easy to navigate. There's playlists made by Nintendo for just boss fights or relaxing or different songs or different characters. It's very easy to navigate, which is great. I'm able to find the songs I want and only listen to those, and I enjoy that.
Yep.
I don't know if you found any particular trouble navigating the app when you got it, or did you have an easy time?
Not really. You kind of just scroll down. It's sorted by system, which is nice.
Yes, which is excellent. That's so great.
So if you want to listen to Breath of the Wild, just go down to Switch, choose Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom.
Or you can even look it up.
That too.
Yeah,
oh,
which is
for
great.
Sure.
What is interesting to me, last positive thing, which is never something someone wants to hear, is each game, if I remember correctly, you can go in and you can view all songs or just the top tracks of that game.
Yes.
Which is an awesome feature. Yeah, here, Tears of the Kingdom, but the Zelda game, as you can tell by the washed out white image on my phone. What if I turn down the brightness? Oh, that's way better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So, yeah, here it says top tracks, 83 tracks, 4 hours and 27 minutes. So that's not even all of them. And then all tracks, 344. So you get some hits such as Prologue 1 or Caves or What We Must Do or Unobo Co. HQ. But there's a lot of music, and I enjoy that. I enjoy that it can separate it because as the average guy, I'm not listening to Prologue 3 Good Ending Nighttime. But I might be listening to a Ganondorf boss fight, Have you ever been in a game and you're like, wow, this jingle that lasts 3 seconds, gotta listen to that 100 times?
No.
That has never happened ever. But I'm glad they're there, at least. Now, speaking of, I guess the opposite of speaking of being glad, let's talk about the bad. I rhymed. Should I start or should you start?
I'm gonna have you go. You start.
You're gonna have me go? All right. I'm gonna start off a little gentle here. I mentioned I like the UX. I like the UX a lot. I'm able to navigate the app easily. Now, here's where the difference between UX and UI kicks in. The app is ugly. It is an ugly, ugly app. I don't know if you caught wind of my comparison here. See, each track here, let me compare a little bit here. So, as you can see here, right? I mean, you're used to it. You know, there's the logo and stuff. So, you can see the logo. I should turn down my brightness again. You can see the logo for the game right there. And that's great. It's a square, almost album cover like graphic. But then if you pick like Prologue 1 from the game, you get this little like photograph of Zelda, right?
Yep.
And it shows you where in the game you're listening the track from. But every single game, almost every single game's track, like Light Route is a Light Route and is a graphic like that in what I think is 18:9. And that's ugly to me. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
How horrific is that? You know, having a graphic be 18:9 for a song. That is extremely pedantic, but it's just ugly. And that's what it looks like when you're just casually listening to it. Yuck, you know? That being said, I don't know if you know this. I don't. I just found this out recently. I watched a video this morning. Certain things are square, like the Splatoon soundtracks, because Splatoon have fictional bands in it, which is my understanding. So you take like, what's a good one here? DJ Octavio. I think it stays square. Yeah, look how gorgeous that looks compared, right? That's way better. That's a square, and it's an album cover, and that's just more satisfying to the eye.
Yeah.
I would love a feature where you could choose whether or not you want those screenshots of the in-game moment, or do you want the video game cover, which would be great. This is so specific and so stupid, but it's something that bothers me a lot. That's my first answer. Is the album cover situation? It's ugly, and I don't like it. What do you have that you don't like about the app, Matt?
Okay, so I do like the spoiler feature. I'm happy it's a thing, but like you mentioned, Donkey Kong Bonanza's on there. It's as a special release, which is nice. That game was really good. My issue, however, is a special release. There's like maybe 9 songs roughly, and it's all early game. And my issue with that is just like, they might as well have the whole soundtrack in if there's like a spoiler thing.
There is only like 9 songs. What's wrong with them?
I don't get it. I think what they should have did was like, hey, spoiler, it's auto spoiler for everyone.
I was gonna say,
and if you beat the game, turn off. You can listen to whatever song you want. That's what they should have did. You never know with them. It's just confusing.
It's weird for them to do that. I almost would rather wait until they release the soundtrack until the game came out and then add the soundtrack. Like Air Riders is on there.
That makes sense. Like if there's a few songs for a game that's not even out yet, that completely that's fair.
Yeah, but would you rather they wait until the game is out to just release the whole soundtrack instead of what they're currently doing? It's hard to say, right?
It's like I'm good either way. It's just like Bonanza. It just annoys me.
It's really annoying for some reason that they're like, we'll give you a few for now. Another thing I do want to mention, I don't know if you caught wind of this, there is no credit for the composers.
Oh, I know that one.
You knew that one?
Yep.
You can't see who wrote or composed or arranged the song you're currently listening to, which is messed up, which is why, in real time, I'm going to credit the artists we've played you already, because we're better than Nintendo. Please don't take away my Actually, take away my Nintendo Online, but don't break my Switch, please. Actually, do. I want a new one. The Wii Sports theme, which we played you, was by Kazumi Totaka. The Pokemon Battle Tower theme, who was that by, Matt?
Toby Fox.
Toby Fox of Undertale and Deltarune fame, which I don't even want to get into that. The Donkey Kong aquatic theme came from, and I didn't believe this was the guy's name, David Weiss. That's not what I was expecting. And then the next 2 tracks we're playing you, they're by, let me find it here, Masato Ohashi, and once again, Kazumi Totaka, who also did the Wii Shop theme, or Wii Sports theme, which, can you believe this? That guy, I don't know if you knew this, the guy who did the score or the soundtrack for the Wii Shop and the Wii Sports also voices Yoshi.
Wow.
How easy was that to mention who made the song, right? It's so easy. And they have the information. They credit the artist at the end of every game they make.
They
So why can't they credit them in the actual app? You know, it's a bit weird. So each song is credited to the video game it's from and the copyright, but not the composer, which is absurd, in my opinion. Like Super Mario 64. Let's take this for example. Iconic. Let's take the main theme from Mario 64. Everyone knows. Let me play it in the microphone. This is going to sound great. You know that song. But I go here. Again, ugly UI. Here we are, right? That's just some random green-brown mess. We click here on the 3 dots, and it should be intellectual property notices. Oh, great. We're going to see who made the song. Nope. Guess what? Copyright Nintendo. Duh.
Really?
Nintendo. Mario made this song? No, like, obviously it's Nintendo who made this. They're so focused on crediting themselves for the copyright that they don't even credit the composer, which is ridiculous, stupid, I'm angry, and I don't like it. Did you notice out the gate that they don't credit the composers?
Yeah, like, usually, you know, if you use Spotify or anything, you're obviously you see the artist at the bottom. You'd think that
And
you'd see it, the name.
one of the most ridiculous points of it, by the way, is that there's so much room for it. Right there, underneath Super Mario 64.
Oh yeah, they can
there's
set
a
that.
huge gap that should say who the composer is, or anything, you know? Or what if there were playlists from that artist, you know, like Koji Kondo, one of the most legendary composers, arrangers of all
Yes.
time. Did what? Mario, did Zelda. He's the guy. There should be a Koji Kondo playlist. Would you enjoy that in terms of navigation?
I think that would be great, especially if you really like what work he's done.
Exactly, right? I feel like that would be so much easier to navigate. And a great example to my misconception, we're also playing you a track later that I thought was just Koji Kondo. It's not. It's not just Koji Kondo. It's Koji Kondo and Mahito Yokota, which I wouldn't have known if I didn't look it up.
Yep.
Now, thankfully, I don't know if you know this, there is a Twitter account that credits them. Did you know this?
You know what? I didn't know that, but that really doesn't surprise me.
There's a Twitter account called the Nintendo Music Credit Project. Looks like that.
That's cool.
Which is awesome that this guy or girl is making a playlist or making playlists for each composer in the Nintendo Music library. That's a really cool thing for them to do. Guess what? They stopped a week ago because they're too busy with life and there's just too many artists. They say, "Hi everyone, I'm sorry to say that it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep the Nintendo Music composer playlists up to date while balancing all my other work." So they literally on oh, sorry, no, that's June. Or yeah, that's June 17th. My bad. So yeah, they haven't updated it since June. So great, thanks. So, which is just ridiculous. Why they haven't made it so you can see the composers is bizarre to me and ridiculous. That feels like such a better addition. And also, I do want to mention the music selection, right? Which we did it briefly, but also I do want to explicitly mention it sucks, right?
I'd say for the most part, it sucks. There are bangers on there, but most of it's just kind of like the song they added yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, what are they still adding? What are they adding a year in, Matt? What did they add yesterday?
They added Metroid 2 Return of Samus from the Game Boy Color.
Thank God they added a Game Boy Color game. I have been waiting that. That's the whole reason I got the app, was to listen to what, Metroid 2 Samus Returns?
Oh no, that's the 3DS remake.
That's crazy that I know that.
Yeah, because they are. I think they should have just did the remake, or maybe both.
So they added. No, that would be too high tech, Matt. They can't do that. They have to add some of your favorite games. Some of my. Are there any? I shall ask you first. Are there any omissions? Anything that's not in the app that surprises you, that you thought would have been?
I am surprised that like Smash isn't in.
Yes. The fact that Super Smash Brothers isn't in the game's or the app's soundtracks list, Melee, the original, Brawl, Wii U, and Ultimate, the fact that I can't listen to the Brawl theme in the official released Nintendo Music app is bananas to me. Don't worry, we have Pilot Wings Resort. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, they got all of them. You know, at least they did that all in one day, I'm pretty sure.
Who's like, I need the Nintendo Music app so I can listen to Pilot Wings? I have Pilot Wings on 3DS. It's a banger. But I wasn't like, Matt, listen, I wasn't going to come to this episode and be like, Matt, I wish there was pilot wings. And you were going to go, actually, Alex, it bothers me. There's some good stuff. They have Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. They got Mario 64. They got Galaxy. They got Odyssey. You know, it's great and dandy. But also, why isn't Smash in it? What are they doing? This episode is going to become so outdated next week when they add Smash. Knock on wood, hopefully. I do want to mention a weird omission is Wii Party. That is like a major theme that people love, the Wii Party theme. And also, they have Tomodachi Collection that was exclusively released in Japan in 2009. They do not have Tomodachi Life, which was evidently a huge enough hit to warrant a reboot, or a sequel on the Switch 2 a decade later. So I don't know what their problem is.
They might have it. Maybe the release timing of the game.
That's possible, yeah. But like that soundtrack is great. The do 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 do. It's phenomenal, and I love it. I also want to make a quick shout out because I forgot the album covers to KK Slider's music are album covers, which is great. I completely forgot to mention that in the positive portion, but it's just there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff. It's a very mixed app. There's some I like and some I don't like. Is there any other games that aren't in there that you think should be?
I mean, I'm a little bit biased as a Xenoblade fan. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, I think at the bare minimum they could add at least one of them.
Is Xenoblade first party? Or first?
Yeah.
Yeah, first party, that's right.
It would be.
Yeah, so that's weird that they don't have it. And Xenoblade have a huge fandom, don't they?
They sure do.
Is there any Fire Emblem?
There's a bit of Fire Emblem.
I've never seen Fire Emblem. But yeah, they have 99 game soundtracks, which is...
In my personal opinion, I think they should at least have one of every Smash representative.
Duh. Yeah.
Because that would make sense. I think that's what they should have started at with me personally.
That's a great suggestion.
But
they
it's
don't.
Nintendo. It's just like...
And you know what? If you suggested that and they went through with it, they're like, okay, we listened to you, Matt-san. Here's Ice Climbers and nothing else. Enjoy for the week. No music next week. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. There's some good and there's some bad. And I would love to talk about what I would prefer and what I would want in a perfect Nintendo Music app with you after the music break, where we'll be talking about what we'd like to see change, and if they had to rework the app from the ground up, what we'd like to see. And also other stuff in case you have any other bits you want to mention or people you want to shout out. Remember that. Please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow me on Instagram at AlexRae, that's R-A-E. You can follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at the Raedar Live, also R-A-E. In the meantime, here is the Colgera boss fight music from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, followed up by the Wii Shop theme from the Wii, live from the Media Hub on riotradio.ca. Ladies and gentlemen, I have done over 120 episodes at Riot Radio, and I have never seen anyone in the studio jam out as hard as the guys from Riot Radio did to the Wii Shop theme. I have played Black Sabbath, I've played Metallica, but this was the one that got them going, like which is fair because it's awesome and it's a banger and I love it. Everyone loves it. Welcome back to episode 46 of the Raedar with my lovely friend Matt Morrow, where we're talking about the Nintendo Music app. So far, we've talked about the pros, the cons, the goodies, and the baddies. Other weird ways to say good and bad. We've talked about the origins of it, and I want to touch up a little bit. We only have like 3 or 4 minutes, I think, maybe 5 minutes. There's not much else to say in regards to it, but like let's break a little bit into what we do want. What would we want in a perfect world? You know, what would they add? So, Smash.
Yeah.
Right? Add Smash music, add music from Smash, which would make me go, do you add every song from Smash? Do they add... Matt, can I listen to Megalovania in this app? Should I?
I mean, Toby Fox, helps out, so that would
That's true.
make sense if it's on there. But my opinion on it is, if it's like third party, it's like they're just gonna call up Square Enix and be like, yeah, can we use One Winged Angel?
That would be really annoying to have to call up everybody.
Like,
I do not see them making the effort to.
No, Nintendo songs, sure.
Absolutely,
at all the first party stuff that they actually own, 100%. But like everything else.
The fact that you said that Toby Fox, or are you going to suggest they make a Toby Fox playlist? But Matt, these songs weren't composed by anybody but Nintendo. So credit your composers.
Yep.
Add Smash. Excuse me. Maybe I should have just added like the Brawl theme at the end out of spite or something, but no. All the songs we're playing for you are in the Nintendo Music app. What else should they add? A better UI. Make it so that you can change it into the video game's cover when you're listening to the soundtrack instead of just a screenshot from the game, which is ugly. What else should they add? Wii Party, like I said, Tomodachi Life. Are there any Metroid games that aren't in it that you want in it?
I'd say like Prime 2 and 3 would be very nice.
It's like what's appalling to me is that they went the NES route. Who's like, okay, good, we have every Nintendo Entertainment... Are they going chronological, It's kind of absurd what they do with that. Metroid 2, Return of Samus. Thank God, I'm not really needing to listen to that. But then you have like Mario Galaxy and stuff, and you're like, okay, that's fine, I get it.
I'm happy to add those, bro.
Yeah, thank God those are in it. But that's basically it. That's all to say. Do you recommend that people at home get the Nintendo Music app?
If you like video game music, Nintendo music, I think it's good to have like if you don't care about this, like no,
absolutely
no. Do not. If you have a Switch and you're like, I'm thinking of getting online.
I was gonna say
just why not?
Odds are someone listening might even have Nintendo Switch Online and didn't know that they're entitled to this.
Oh, 100%.
So that's possible. So if you use Nintendo Switch Online or are a member, you have this at your disposal, which is a great novelty add-on, which is fine. I've used it for a week every once in a while, but I'm not so religiously into soundtracks that I want to revisit it regularly. I get my itch out by listening to it like on YouTube. I'm never like on the bus and going, God, I want to listen to like Gusty Garden Galaxy. But I mean, every once in a while, but still I could just go to YouTube for it.
Yeah.
But that basically concludes the episode. I want to thank you so much for being on here.
Not a problem.
Did you have a good time?
Sure did, pal.
Awesome. That's the end of it. Please check out... I mean, do you have anything... I guess you have nothing you want to shout out? Not for you. The Nintendo video game project, Nintendo franchise project there that Logan did with Sten.
Oh,
we both were in that.
We were.
Yeah, there's a YouTube video that's like multiple hours long where our friend collaborated with his friend where everyone gets like 5 minutes to talk about a certain video game or certain franchise from Nintendo. Every franchise from Nintendo. You talk about...
I talked about Kid Icarus.
And how many games are there in that franchise?
3 of them.
And I talk about Nintendo Land from the Wii U. And it's great, so check that out. Check out Sten on YouTube. Check out his stuff. Shout out Zenith, by the way, which you completely forgot. Zenith, our coworker, asked us to mention him
for some reason.
He just
wanted to get mentioned.
He
for
just
some reason.
wanted I'll look forward to seeing you back here next week for my Halloween special. Not on Halloween, unfortunately, but it is kind of Halloweeny themed. And you know what the episode is, and you're excited, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So make sure you check it out. Please don't forget that you can follow us on social media at the DCSA Media Hub. You can follow this show on Instagram and Twitter at the Raedar Live RAE. You can follow me on Instagram at Alex R Ray. I did it backwards, also RAE. In the meantime, here's maybe my favorite Nintendo music ever, composed by. I should have had this ready, Matt. Matt, why didn't I have it ready? I've been doing this for so long. Composed by Mahito Yokota and Koji Kondo. It's Gusty Garden Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy, playing us out live for the Media Hub on riotradio.ca.